Friends, once again, very well welcome to all of you. Today we have to discuss about TYBCS subject Internet Programming Part 2nd, and the topic name is Web Techniques. In this we have to see the client server architecture session, cookies, different global variables, and a lot more things that are related to the web technique. So discuss it is in detail. So move towards the PPT of the web techniques. So now see the PPT of web techniques. So friends, we know that in internet programming we have seen the lot of concepts related to the internet. When the question about internet, there is a role of web techniques. For that, to develop the web pages, there are lot of languages. Some of them are static, some of them are dynamic. So we have to see that we can create static web pages with the help of HTML and the PHP. In the static web pages, values of variable are fixed inside the PHP script. But when we use the HTML form and PHP script both together, we can create the dynamic web pages also, which can accept the input from the user. So we have to see the first things related to the HTML and PHP. So first we will discuss about HTML. We know that HTML is the client side language, which is also scripting language. It is used for static web technique, that is one can only see information but can't going to change it, or no interaction between user and server. It doesn't do any processing of information which needs server side support, that is passing information to the pages, maintaining states, using sessions or cookies such. But when we discuss about PHP, we know that PHP is hypertext preprocessor. It is also called personal homepage. It is also web scripting language, but it is of server side. PHP is used for dynamic web technique. PHP accepts input from the user using the HTML form. It processes the information on web server using database server and sends the process outputs as response to the client in HTML format so as to be easily readable. It has capabilities to accept form parameters, upload a file, cookies, and session maintenance, redirect to the browser. So for that, PHP uses super global variables. We know that PHP provides several predefined variables which are also called as superglobals or automatic globals, that are the variables that has all scopes throughout the script. There is no need to do global $variable declaration to access them within a function or a methods. Thus, superglobals are the built-in variables that are always in the all scopes. But note that superglobals cannot be used as variables inside the functions or class methods. To access this information, one has to enable the registered globals option in php.in. So we have to see these super global variables. First one is that $_request. Second one is that $_file. Next one is that $_session. Next one is that $_cookie. Next one is that $_server. And next one is that $_environment. Here $_request has also of two types, that is $_get and $_post. Now here these are the super global variables that are too much useful in the web techniques. We have to see one by one. Before that, dollar globals, that is, it refers to the all variables available in global zone. It is an associative array which refers to the variables currently defined in the global scope of script. The variable names are the keys of array and the values of variables are values of keys in dollar globals array. Here, suppose example is given. If we consider $x equal to 75, $y equal to 25, and takes the one function of addition, then the global z is equal to the global x plus global y. Then we going to call the addition function, then we will print the output of this as a echo z. So this global is refers to all variables available in global scope. So next point is that $_server. This is super global variable. This is an array that contains useful information about the web server and the execution environment. It contains the information of headers, paths, and script location. Next one is that $get. This is used to accept the values entered in HTML form that are sent through the method get. You can say get as a function or an array as shown in figure. Next one is that $_post. This is used to accept values entered in HTML form and are sent through the method post. You can say get as a function or an array. Next one is that request. Request array contains the elements of get and post and cookie array. Request can be used to collect form data sent either with get or post method. Next one is that $file. This super global function is any information related to the file stored in it as array form. It is an associative array of files uploaded to the current script via HTTP post method. $files and HTTP post files are HTTP files upload variables. It is introduced in version of PHP 4.1.0. This contains the same information, that is the information about any uploaded file, but it is not a super global. That means HTTP post files and $files are the different variables. PHP handle them differently. So in a file related to the file are stored in an associative array of uploaded file. Next one is that cookie. We know that cookie is an often used to store the data which can be stored to identify user. Suppose for example person's name. So cookie is a small flat file which sites on client side. Each time user requests a page or goes to web page, all cookie information is also sent. Next one is that session. Any information related to the session is stored in $_session array. It is an associative array of session variable available for the current script. To start the session, there is function session_start. It is used as the beginning of the script to initialize the session data. It is also introduced in the version of PHP 4.1.0. Next one is that $_env. Env stands for environment. Any information related to the environment is stored in $environment array. It is an associated array of variables passed to the current script via the environment method. Environment and $http environment are environment variables, but that are handled differently by the PHP. It is also introduced in PHP 4.1.0. So after seeing all these different super globals, next point is that processing form. So here the question arises, what is form? When you log in into a website or into your mailbox, you are interacting with form. Forms are used to get input from the user and submit it to the web server for the processing as shown in figure. To create HTML form, there is HTML code is written here as here the simple registration form is created. For that purpose, inbuilt tags of HTML is taken like HTML body s2 form action. Then the method is taken here, the post. There are two text box created, one button is taken as a submit, and the created the simple registration form. That registration form shows that simple processing of the form. So next point is that after creating the simple form, to interact with this, to accept the data of this form, there is method is used echo post. For that purpose, here PHP code is created. Suppose here HTML body s2 tag is taken. After it, PHP code is written in open angular bracket question mark PHP post method is taken, and the inputs from the HTML form are taken, that are access and output is given. So next final point of this, before final point, there is a difference between get and post method. We know that get method is not hidden, that is information sent through the get method is visible to the others, while post method is hidden, that is information sent through the post method is invisible to others. In get method is used for sending unauthentic data, post method is sending for authentic or private data. Get method displays the parameters and data passed in the URL, while in post method data is not displayed in URL. Get method is idempotent, while post method is not idempotent. That is, in get method, web browser caches the response page and it loads from there only, while in post request cannot be cached, so server is reconnected every time the page is displayed. Here the two forms are given, form submission with the get method. Suppose here method, if we take the get, then data is visible, and suppose we have take the method as a post, then the URL does not show the form value. This is the basic difference shown in this example. Next one is that form validation. When a client enter any data into the form, several validations should be done on it or before it is inserted into the database. Also note that it's good to validate user input on the browser, because browser validation is the faster than the server side validation and also reduce the server load. A proper way of validating a form is to post it to the itself instead of jumping to the different page. This shows the error message on the same page, which make it easier to view and correct the errors. Such pages are called as self-processing pages. So here PHP form validation example. Suppose here field is taken name, email, website and comment. Suppose here there is a name instead of name, that is instead of characters, if you have enter the numbers it will not accept it. Suppose we have put some field blank, then it is also, it will not accept it. In the website field, suppose if we enter the invalid URL, it is also, it will not take, means this is the validation. So next point is that sticky forms. A sticky form is an HTML form that remembers how you fill it out. This is very useful for end user, especially when you want to them to resubmit a form after filling it out incorrectly in the first place. Sometimes if user unwantedly refreshes page, then all inputs are cleared. Sticky inputs prevents this annoying mistake. To do this, the form and the handler should be on the same script. It is pretty easy to make our form sticky. We need to echo the submitted name and email as the value of attribute of the fields. Here the example of sticky form is given. Next point is that SSL, that is secure socket layer. It is the predecessor of transport layer security, a cryptographic protocol developed by Netscape that provides security for communication over a network such as an internet. The sockets are the part of term refers to the socket method of passing data and flow between a client and server program in a network or between program layers in the same computer. SSL uses the public and private key encryption system from RSA algorithm, which includes the use of digital certificate. SSL provides security connection between client and server. SSL manages the security of message transmission on the internet. So this secure socket layer is the predecessor of transport layer security. Here this figure shows that how SSL works. So I hope that you have understand the web techniques. To understand it in deeply, there are link for references, PHP official documentation, tutorials. These are the websites are given. So friends, I hope that you have understand the concepts related to the web techniques, superglobals in these different types of superglobal variables, then the session, cookie, get method, post method, and final point, that is the secure socket layer. I hope that you have understand these all points very well. So thank you to everyone.